I'm sincerely very grateful.
You have to look for something. For me, I believe the global cluster is not just a social media. It's more than the social media.
Yes,
it's the way a social community should be. A social community should be about. A social community should be about. Should be about coming together to actually solve our own problem. And most especially we that we come from Africa, we have a lot of issue on ground that we need to solve. And sorry about that.
That's all right.
So we have a lot of things on ground that we need to solve. And because we have a whole lot, all Africans, like I said, the problem we're faced with, it's not solving the problem is very easy. Very, 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 very easy. It's not a rocket science. It's only if we are willing to solve it. If the willingness, if the intentionality is there to solve the problem. I mean, there's no one, if we can fix our life, coming from a very humble background, you understand?
Yep.
Nothing, to show for, and we struggled. Today we are abroad, you understand? For instance, I can compare.
Your audio is fluctuating.
I said I can compare myself with you because you were born British.
That's correct.
You didn't even step your foot into the Federal Republic of Nigeria until you were 17 years old.
That's correct.
You understand?
Yep.
You were already almost a matured adult. And now you've retired, you've worked, and now you have a flair to actually serve your father's land, and you're calling on every meaningful Nigerian to say they should come into a movement that you're championing, to say that there should be better security in the Federal Republic of Nigeria to create a United States of Africa, and you're championing that movement right now. So for somebody like us, if we could struggle through the line, I sold engine oil at Pangu Bus Stop for 8 years. I was in the middle of hooligans, and if I turn out to be an area boy today, nobody should argue because of the environment. But if I did not now turn out to be an area boy, I don't know what anybody is going through right now. I don't know. It is possible. I don't know. It's like I was born in an environment. I was born in the face my face you. For anyone that is in on the line that might be listening on YouTube, on the Sparkle, on Facebook, on the TikTok, and on the StreamYard right now, I was born, in a very rural area, in a one-room apartment. Of God face me, I face you. You understand? Environment has a lot to do with you. You understand? And at the point we could not afford that room, I went to squat. I came from, I was born into even a broken home from childhood. My mom lived alone. My dad lived alone. You understand? Most of the time, you can see that every circumstances, I can equate my life to the life of Nigerians right now. That everything is calling for failure. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Even your parents are poor, they are not even together. Do you understand?
Of course.
They did not even go to school. They did not. The parent we're talking about did not even go to school. You understand? The parent did not even go to school, and they are poor, and they did not go to school again, and they didn't even know the meaning. You understand? They just feel that everybody's sending their kids to school. Let me send my kids to school. That's all. You understand? So, what are we talking about? So, and it could be equated, a particular life could be equated to like all of the unstable, the environment is not favorable, and all of that. Still yet, this guy that was born into a broken home, unstable family, was raised by a father, you understand, that did not even go to school, and at the end of the day, the boy emerged a global citizen. So, if that boy can emerge a global citizen, it means Nigeria can be number one in the world. I can equate it. Now, what distinguished this boy? This boy, when I was growing up, there is something in me called grit. And every woman being has it. Grit. Grit. Every human being on earth have it. You just need to activate it. It's calling for your own activation. The grit in you is calling you out for your activation. If only you can activate your grit today, you'll be shocked at what will happen to you. I don't know how many people will be listening to this. There is grit in Nigeria. There is what they call, in business, they call something unique selling point. That is USP, unique selling point. And there's another thing called low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit. Now, the low-hanging fruit are the opportunities. The unique selling point are our strength over weakness. You understand? For instance, investor, we are currently talking to investor to say, come to Nigeria, our minimum wage is not as expensive as your nation. Turkey here, the minimum wage here is about minimum, even if you did not go to school. If you are doing shabu shabu, we will call it shabu shabu here, you will earn at least minimum of 900,000 naira Nigerian money.
Wow.
900K. So that is the minimum. That is the worst case scenario. Those kind of people that earn 900K, if they work extra shifts, they can earn up to 1.5 million or 1.3 million, depending on a monthly basis. So now, our minimum wage in Nigeria is 70K, and people even earn. You understand? If you give someone the soft landing, accommodation, feeding, and all of that, if you tell the person you're going to earn more, less than that, the person will look at it, so I'm not spending that money. Feeding is out of it. This one is out of it. The person will take it. So that has been happening in our father's land. So this is our unique selling point. We have a good weather. This is our unique selling point. We equally have a lot of our low-hanging fruit as our natural resources. All of these things are there for us. We have everything to emerge number one in the world. And where is the problem? Why are we not emerging? What is happening to us? I'm telling you, the only major thing that is happening to us, the insecurity is not the problem. Lack of poverty is not the problem of Nigeria. Unemployment is not the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria and Africa right now is re-engineering of the mind. Should anyone tell you how to keep your own home? We all have houses, and most of us, when we visit us, we know how we keep our houses. So people are disturbing you, and you're giving a mandate to govern, and people have to throw tantrums. Recently, the Senate now are now saying, the lawmakers are now saying, when you are caught doing banditry or when you are caught doing this, it's now death sentence. Must it get to this level before you guys know what to do? Can I have a laughter there, please? Well, must it get to this level for people to know what to do? It does not need to get to this level. When people are creating unrest in the society, the normal law should take its course. You understand?
Of course.
So what are we trying to say? What we're trying to say is that if you are like that, know how to give good things to your own children. You understand? why can't you just use the same heart to create an enabling environment for that children?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Don't you know that when we do good things to our environment, we are creating an enabling environment for ourselves. We are creating a free society that we can walk in. Some people now are so they what they have, they are scared of moving around.
Mm-hmm.
They are scared of walking freely. We have someone that is heading even a nation that is turning around more than that, and the head of that nation can move around the street because he has done so well for the people of the nation. Nobody, he has created policies that people are happy. The only thing Qatar have is oil.
Yes.
And this oil, they've been able to use it to take care of the citizen. It's a place that when you're a citizen of Qatar, it's like ovarian lottery.
Mm-hmm.
There are some nations today, what you have gotten is like an ovarian lottery. At least you will live a normal life. And that is why I want everyone to know. This man here that is championing is a man that is selfless because he's privileged to be one of the people that has won ovarian lottery. Yes, he won ovarian lottery because he was born British, and that cannot be denied from him. He was born British, and for a born British to say, "I'm ready to come home," you need to go and listen to the past Let's Talk Security by retired Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin on the SparkUp. Go to the sparkup.org and listen to how this man has thought. I was listening to some and I was like, oh God, give this man all the resources needed because he's ready. I think he's almost 60 years old right now, and he's ready to say, I'm ready to pour everything I have learned in the last 6 decades. I'm ready to pour it out to fix my father's life. You can imagine such sacrifice. He does not need to leave UK. He has his job. As a matter of fact, this time that he's using to do this Let's Talk Security, he can go and use it to make some pounds. He owns his own business. He owns a security company in the United Kingdom. People are, he has people that he works for and he makes pound. You know, but this is a man. When we met, I said, this is who I am. He said, this is who I am too. And I said, with what you are you ready to champion the movement? He said, why not? It was so funny. He said, why not? I can champion the movement. I said, okay. Well, that was the time we started. We even the Global Cluster does not even have a website yet. It was just the concept note. And he said, why not? I said, okay, you're going to be the 001 of the global security cluster of the global clusters. I said, okay, I accept it. And today, it's not just a mere talk. The same global clusters has an app on the Play Store. The free version, which is the SparkUp, has been approved. We're doing a pre-launch on Dimikis Live. Dimikis is a social influencer with over 2 million followers across all of the social network. And Dimikis said, I'm going to be championing 30 town crier lawyers in the 774 local government. And he's a custodian and he's the first ambassador to the SparkUp. And tonight, we're going to be having Dimikis. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say to everyone is that Nigerians, the issue we're faced with, your mind does not know yesterday, does not know now, and does not know tomorrow. Your mind only know what you feed in with, and that is why you need to guide it jealously. I was telling someone to say something resonated with me this morning. Do you know when bad thing happens? Bad things are empowered by discussions, by opening it up, by romancing it. Romancing it means talking about it, looking at how this bad thing has really damaged a lot of things, looking at what the bad thing has done. They grow like that. That is how bad thing grows. And guess what? If you refuse to romance bad things, they don't grow. And that is why we have taught several times on the global cluster that anytime you see a bad thing, give back to the solution. Discuss solution. Only discuss bad thing with someone that will give you solution. People will come on social media gathering and talk about Nigerian problem. Oh, look at the leader, shy. They will now start cussing where they hail from. Again, oh, it can never be where. Who will make it where? He can never look at it. Look at the detriment of the bad thing. Look at this. You are not talking solution. But in the global clusters, we are talking solution. We are discussing solution. We are actually speaking our solutions, and we're taking the bull by the horn. On Thursday, when we did ARA, they streamed live from the farm and they were harvesting. And that is what we give meal, food to everyone. That is solving food security issue. We are currently building the biggest farmers market in the whole of West Africa, in Abuja right now. So we are solving problems. We have forward thinkers in the community, and we are harnessing more forward thinkers again. So what's my point? My point to everyone is that let's stop talking about everything bad about our nation, about our community. Let's start coming together to talk solution. When we want to talk about it, let's talk solution and let's take actions. Let's take the right actions towards solving our problem. And I can tell you, if we reposition our mind to solve problems, I'm telling you, it's a no-brainer. It's a real deal. Between now, 10 years' time, 20 years' time, Nigeria will be number one in the world. Thank you, retired Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin. I'm actually on transit, and my network might be off and on. I just said, let me stay and just give this submission as to what has resonated. Insecurity is the order of the day. As a matter of fact, guess what? To amplify insecurity very well, people are now using it to make skits. They feel that when I make skits with anything insecurity now, I get viewers, I get paid, paid from the social media and all of that. And this is something that is hurting people, and you are amplifying it. The only thing you could do is to amplify it. You understand? Amplifying something that creates insecurity, it's not really good. Instead of that, why can't you come up with a skit of solution? Why can't you engage in skits, in a skit that will talk about solution, instead of talking about problem, instead of romancing the problem with your skit? Why can't you come together and design a skit that will say, if we do this, what will happen? Don't you see that this is the result we're likely to get if we actually take this kind of step? If we actually take this kind of step, this is the result we can get. All of the positivity results, why can't we be putting that into people's mind? Why can't we be putting that out there? But we all romance the problem. We all look at what chance we have to bring each other down. We all look at, what something should happen. Let me just call this person out. Let me just do this. Let me just do that. That cannot take us anywhere. It will not take us anywhere. It will only, bring us down, and it will not take us to where we ought to be. So I want to, in rounding up, I just want to say, let's focus on the solution. The insecurity is not the problem. The poverty in Nigeria and Africa is not the problem. What is the problem? The unemployment is not the problem. What is the problem? The problem is the mind, the way we think about what is currently going on in our community is the problem. The way we reason it out, how we approach it, A bad news can turn to become a good news if you approach it well. And a good news can turn to become a bad news if you did not approach it well. I've seen someone that eat a deal of 3 billion and excitement killed the person because he did not approach the excitement very well. And that is why you must build your mind so that you don't lose your mind. You must make your mind strong. Your mind got to be strong. Because if your mind is not strong, the quality of your mind likely determine the quality of your life. It's a no-brainer. This is a nobody. I didn't play bad news. I was a nobody. Not now. I'm now somebody. But I was a practically nobody. So if it can happen, Nigeria is at that stage right now. And we have a lot of low-hanging fruit. We have a lot of we have a lot of unique selling points. The USPs. Let us harness our strength, our unique selling point. You understand? If Ikongosi, if we can solve insecurity problem, Ikongosi can be a place where all this, when you go, will be coming. Our tourist attraction in every city, it will be a no-brainer. Do you know what Dallas alone is making on tourism? Do you know what London alone is making on tourism? You understand? So we have a lot of low-hanging fruit here. What's wrong with us? Nigeria, I'm calling all of you out. Africans, I'm calling you out. Please. What are you doing this for? Wake up, Africa. You're a sleeping giant. Wake up. Let's support our own. This is the global security cluster of the global clusters. And we're calling on meaningful Nigerians. Let's bring retired Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, the British Colonel, home. He's willing. All right. Let me stop here. Oh, jeez.
One of the things that I notice when I do this live feed on a Saturday, especially when His Excellency is in the room, is that the passion that some people show for what they believe in is absolutely immense. Now, I thought I was the only person who had passion, or who felt passionately about the goings on in Africa as a whole, not just Nigeria, because first and foremost, I am an African, but then I'm from the part of Africa known as Nigeria. And it's one of the motivations behind my taking up my stance where security is concerned, because when you walk or you sojourn in a particular part of the world or environment, one of the first things that you want to know is that whether, as you walk around, you are safe. Over the last months or so, Nigeria has been in the news a lot. And for a lot of people who are actually Nigerians, for a long time, even when you go home, you are wary of your movements, because you don't feel 100% safe to go out whenever you feel like it. Now, saying that, in Africa this week alone, we've been hearing about the unrest in certain other parts of Nigeria, and even up to and including the overthrowing of governments. It does worry me a little bit, but it doesn't worry me that much, because it's something that I'm pretty sure a lot of us saw coming. It was only a matter of time before people started to take action. And rightly or wrongly, I have a feeling that it is going to happen soon in other regions of Africa. I'm going to call in Olorunbe to give me his insight into this week as a whole and what he's noticed as far as Africa is concerned, security-wise. Olorunbe, how are you, sir?
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you for bringing me up. Sir, with the way things are going on in Africa, I won't be surprised that the next 1 year, Africa will be ruled by military because African leaders have refused to heed the voice of populace. You know, look at what is happening in Nigeria right now. Our government will say black, or they will see white, they call it black. You know, I just want to go back to what the Mr. President said. He said that we shouldn't be diminish our country, but I can bet with you that no one is trying to diminish Nigeria at all. But when the government failed its responsibility, definitely people will come up and speak up so that the world can listen to them. I like what Obasanjo did yesterday. I think it was an event, and he said that if this government can contain this insecurity, they should call on international community. No, these are the people who are experienced and they know what is really going on in our country. The insecurity in Nigeria is appalling. No one can sleep with two eyes closed. No one can move any longer. And if you expect us to keep quiet, not to say anything, it is not possible. We will keep saying it until they answer us. They know how to contain this insecurity. It's just that some people are profiting in this business of insecurity. That is why we are still experiencing insecurity in Nigeria. People are tired. People are willing to go back home, to establish, to promote our country. Because of this insecurity, people avoid going back home. This is unfair. They need to do something. You know, they need to do something. We will keep talking until they answer us. Look at what happened in Niger. Over 200 people were taken away. How did they manage to do it? If I could wrap up my brain, I would say a food trailer can pack 300 people. How did these people manage to do it and move over 300 people into the bush? And government said nothing until they received much pressure before president could come out and say that this, whereas all what they said was lie.
You see, I have a few questions now. Before I bring in Motivator, who, like myself, is a former serving officer within the British Army, and also he was my president at university. Now, for a long time, I've always said, where Nigeria is concerned, that Nigeria's problem is Nigeria, right? Nigeria's problem is not just Nigeria, but Nigerians, right? And where the problem stems from is that a majority of Nigerians have sold their souls to the devil, right? In the sense that you will run after somebody for the little crumbs that they're throwing at you because you believe that those crumbs are going to get you to where you need to get to. Unfortunately, after taking those crumbs are basically a gag. So that tomorrow, when the people that you've been running after, right, no longer do what you want, you can't say anything because they've already paid you. Right? Now, as a people in a country where things are done properly, right, when you democratically elect your government, right, your government is answerable to you and not you to them, right? In a country where you democratically elect your government, when you walk up to your councillor's office door or your president's office, you have the right to speak to them and ask them questions. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, because you've all been paid off, right? You do as you're told. Now, Nigeria is in debt to the Western world because the Western world keeps giving Nigeria money. Now, the money that is given to Nigeria by the Western world to be used in Nigeria for Nigerians to improve the country, to develop the country, isn't used for those reasons. Rather, it is squandered amongst the friends, as I'd like to call them, right? And so therefore, Nigeria remains in debt and the Western world is still pulling your strings. Now, you have civil unrest in the country now. You have, and I don't know why Nigeria likes using the term bandits. They're not bandits, they're terrorists, right? They're not bandits, they're terrorists, right? A bandit walks into a shop, right, and does armed robbery, right? That's what bandits do, right? Terrorists go into a community, kidnap and kill people, right? Those are terrorists. So let's get that straight first so that we know what we're talking about and where we're talking from. Now, your president in Nigeria is in a situation where the stew that he cooked so many years ago, right, is now boiling and he doesn't know what to do with it, right? Now, there's an old saying that says, uneasy is the head that wears the crown, right? The president now, I don't know whether he thought that becoming the president of Nigeria would just mean he would just wake up in the morning and everyone would laud him and, you know, shake his hands and feel happy to be around him, be happy to be associated with him, or what? I don't know, right? But it's constantly becoming a poison chalice for him, right? But it's a poison chalice that he created for himself. You know, I keep saying to people, in growing up, we were taught not to lie, not to steal, and not to do any of the negatives. But unfortunately, we have a government now, which is probably, in my eyes, one of the worst ever, right? Because I have never known so much civil unrest in my whole life. And yet, the people concerned are still walking around with blinkers on saying it's not happening. I'm going to call in Mr. Motivator now to give us his insight into Nigeria from a security perspective, right? Because you know, this is who we are, this is what we do, and this is how we do it, right? I see it a certain way. I'm pretty sure he sees it his certain way. The global president has given his submission first this morning on how he sees it. Now I'm going to listen to Motivator to hear how Motivator sees it.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Yeah, morning, Steve. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for... Good morning to you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for allowing me to speak. As always, thank you very much. You're a brother from another mother. Well, when we talk about Nigeria, actually, it's not just Nigeria alone. This is the thing I say about Nigeria. Nigeria is, you know, different oils coming together. I always say this: oil cannot mix with water. Water cannot mix with oil. Mm-hmm. We have, and there are different kinds of oil. There's vegetable oil, there's olive oil, and there's even kerosene is oil as well. So imagine putting all this oil together. What are they going to form? We need to understand, putting together Nigeria is for a commercial gain, number one. Number two, like the global president said, that we should not focus on the problem. What are the solutions? Now, I will just say, solution. There are so many solutions to our problem, but are they willing to take it? There are so many young people that can rule that country well. I don't know if you remember during the time of Buhari, Professor Yemi, the vice president.
Show somebody, yeah.
Yeah. The
Pastor.
vice president.
Yeah, pastor.
Yeah, the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that our finances wasn't in a good shape at that time when he traveled?
Mm-hmm.
Before Buhari traveled.
Mm-hmm.
Before he came back, our finances was good.
That's right.
I mean, the exchange rate.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was doing very, very well. They don't want him to get there. So many other examples of people. Look at this guy. There are so many people they can put there that will fix the country. Look at this billionaire that is buying airports around. What's his name? This Yoruba one.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah. These people can fix the country. They can actually do it, but they will not let them get it. Mm-hmm. Look at what is happening now with Dangote refinery.
Mm-hmm.
The Dangote has bring a solution. I mean, for the whole since over 40 years ago, yeah, Nigerian refinery hasn't been. Actually, they will fix it and they will make sure that they spoil it. And same with the electricity, because Baba Obasanjo, the time he came back again, he bought hydro machines, yeah, mm-hmm. And they put whatever to spoil it. So there are some people trying to fix this thing. There are some people trying to destroy it. The solution being okay. Any country, some people are training their children to be okay in life. Mm-hmm. Some people are not training their children. Of course, if you don't train your children and you are getting a lot of money for education and you are putting the money in your pocket. Same with I'm not going to say whatever. Mm-hmm. This thing will happen. But now the solution, we need food in the country, like what the global president said. Right now, this is not the time to be taxing people. Mm-hmm. This, I'm not going to say anybody because we need to be careful.
Yeah.
We need to be extremely careful. Because you don't know who is listening on the mm-hmm. on the FYP. Mm-hmm. So all I'm just saying is like we need food at this time. This is not the time because this government is just taxing. I mean, people from here, the people in the diaspora, they take money to invest in the stock exchange in Nigeria. You are taxing them 30%. Of course, they are going to take their money back to somewhere where, I mean, if I invest like 1 million and you are taking 300,000 already from my 1 million, what do you think? Mm-hmm. Of course, I will take it to a lesser. Now, the Minister for Finance is now saying we will reconsider. Of course, don't you think about that before? They are the people in the diaspora, they are trying to boost the economy of the country. Now you are putting tax. Everything is tax. You put money in the bank, they tax you. It's just like here now. Mm-hmm. Taxing everybody. Even us as people that live in the diaspora, they want to be taxing people over here now. Ridiculous. So this is not the time to tax people. It is time to make sure that they have abundance of food. Look at Ibrahim Traore. Is it a year or two now that it's been there? Look at the country. We need food. Everybody needs food. Just like Maslow hierarchy of needs.
Maslow hierarchy.
Yes, thank you. We need this for now. Maslow. What do we need? We need food. We need to be okay. They need clothes. They need housing.
Self-esteem.
Thank you, and self-esteem. From food, from clothes, if you put them, if you give employment, if you give them that, the self-esteem will come back again. It is a natural law of nature. But if we are, because just like what you've said, the Western country have now tell them to be taxing people and to be doing this, and you are just taxing people left and right. People that don't have job, that cannot eat, you are taxing them. And now they are saying they want OPay to I don't know what is all wrong with OPay now. They want them because they are competing so much with the bank. They want them to stop their business. I mean, this is the thing that is giving joy to the people, and you are taking it off again. So all these little things, we need food, they need shelter, they need security. These are the things Maslow just said it. We need all these things so that we can be able to at least rest from the beating and the bashing of every government that has been. And the good ones, they don't let them stay. I'm very sorry to go back. Good Lord Jonathan, I think he did very well during his time. There's no perfect human being on life.
Yeah, but people are only realizing that now, though.
Yeah, they are only realizing it. But during that time, he was fighting this Boko. I don't want to say because I don't want them to buy or it's just only a fraction left. Only a fraction, maybe like 200 people left when Buhari's regime came, and they said they should leave them, and now they reinforced back again. So what am I trying to say? Like me and you, we all know this. There are steps we are not going to discuss here. There are combat techniques that you can do with this. We all know this. I don't want to say it here. If we really want to, look at the way they killed a general. Can you hear? In fact, a general. One unit on lori kini. I don't want to say this in English. One more. How can you? I mean, you tell people to stop, not to go and rescue the general. You gave a command. It cannot happen here. I mean, it is just because of selfish gain, and some people are just going about and discussing about solution. So solution, Maleo, because solution will be hard. I'm from a military background. Solution,
Sorry for the interjection. I believe the only solution is to go after these people.
How can you go after them when the people that are sponsoring them?
That's what I'm saying. No, you say solution. I said the only solution is to go after them.
If you're going to go after them, I want to come out and some people will be wounded.
That means that there is no solution. But I believe the only solution is to go after them and kill them.
Right. If I can just jump in there, you see, I purposely didn't say anything when this dialogue started. Now, one of the things we have to also realize with Nigeria, and I say this a lot, is that is Nigeria actually ready for change? Or are you just happy, right, to jump on social media and complain? That's always my first question. And the reason why that's always my first question is this. You know, when I first started this, I said, Nigerians have sold their soul to the devil, right? Now, motivator, you and I know that what's going on in Nigeria could never happen here.
Never.
Right? And it could never happen in America.
Never.
Right? Now, at the moment, especially with the incident of the young Navy officer, right? That actually opened a bigger can of worms as to the way Nigeria is run. Right? When you've got one man who decides he wants to go and try to show muscle, and in his trying to show muscle, takes police, DSS, civil defense, everybody with him to go and talk to somebody about a dispute. Right now, I think I'm old enough and I've served long enough to know that even the lowest of lowest counselors in this country would rather make a phone call or go to that person discreetly and have a conversation. Right now, the civil unrest in Nigeria now is so vast. Right, it is so vast. It is so terrible that even it would go as far as to suffice if someone says, I don't actually know if when I'm in Lagos, the person who has just stopped my car in a policeman's uniform is actually a policeman or his friend who borrowed the clothes. Right? Because there's no accountability. Right? There's no accountability. Right? There's no database. There's no system. Right? And I keep saying it, and some Nigerians find it offensive when I say, all of you have been to uni. You've all got degrees. I was saying it last week. I said, you know what? The favorite saying amongst Nigerians is, yes, I've got I'm a graduate and I'm doing my master's and then I'm going to do my PhD. Right? What are you doing them for? Right? What are you doing them for if it's not going to benefit your nation? Right? Why are you doing it if it's not going to benefit your nation? Because in Nigeria today, right, one thing I do know is if you was to stand up and say, right, here's two sides of a room, right? On this side, everyone who's got a degree, from first degree, from HND right up to doctorate, right? Stand to this side. And those of you have got anything from a certificate down to school cert, stand on that side. I'm pretty sure that the graduates would outnumber those who don't. Right? Now, there's an old Yoruba adage that says, right? But unfortunately, in Nigeria today, you've got loads of people who have sight, but no foresight. Right? They've got sight, but no foresight. Because if they had foresight, right, with the amount of engineers that we have in Nigeria today, right, our roads should look better. With the amount of engineers we have in Nigeria today, our electricity should be constant. With the amount of engineers that we have in Nigeria today, we should have running gas and running water like we have in the UK.
Sorry, have you noticed something?
Go on.
Have you noticed something that the educational system that we are operating is not practical?
No.
It's theoretical.
It is. Very.
Okay, this is what I will say to you. People in this country, in Germany, they will do 6 months practical and on courses.
Mm-hmm.
And they are the one that are building our roads.
Yeah.
All these Chinese, all these whatever. They only did 6 months practical courses. Mm-hmm. The people that went on the course, university, whatever, they are not doing anything. Because when you look at the study in this country, they will take you on practical mission. From day one, you'll be doing practical. What is necessary? I remember when we used to do, when I was in IT class at the uni. Mm-hmm. We wrote all these robots that are going to right now, that in the hospital. We started with the hospital. Mm-hmm. We were diagonizing it. That was about 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
Now, what are they using now? Are they not using it now?
Of course.
All these robots that they are using at the hospital that is used, do you know right now doctors and the consultants, they are not doing operation anymore. It's
No.
not robots that are doing operation.
I know. I'm aware.
And even at that time, we were doing we were writing those code at that time for if you go to the doctor's office,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to see the doctor. I mean, well, you will see the doctor, but you will key in all your information for your appointment to be set.
Sure.
And if you want, a robot will speak to you instead of the doctor.
That's
Is it
right.
not happening right now?
That's right.
20 years ago.
That's right.
We did practical.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I used to go to Essex before coming to UEL, Essex University.
Yeah.
All this space, whatever that they are doing, we tested it, we programmed it.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you telling me? All this. So if the educational system is not working back home, then we should do it practical.
Well, you
practical.
see the
Look at all these people that they are doing. We need solar. All these things is what we need.
You see, Steve,
we should go for it. Not telling me about not telling me some educational whatever that is about 100 years old.
You see, Steve, what you got to understand is this, right? And I'm going back to what I said earlier on. You see, the problem we have in Nigeria is Nigeria, right? The old, I actually said something, I think it was last week or so. I said, what you need to do as Nigerians for now is take your culture and put it to one side, right? Because I think your culture is getting the better of you and it's not allowing your educational mindset to step in, right? Now, when, like, if I'm going to take from what the honorable minister, or should I say dishonorable minister, said to the Navy officer, right? I was a graduate when you were in primary school, right? Now, for me, that's not talking education, that's talking culture. What he's basically saying is, I'm older than you, you shouldn't be talking back to me. When I tell you to do something, you're supposed to do it, whether it's right or wrong, right? And then going back to the old Nigerian cultural habit of obey first and complain later, right? Now, if you want to put the obey first and complain later adage into context, if I'm in an airplane and I can see that you're doing it wrong and I tell you, you're telling me to shut up, how can I complain later if the plane has crashed and we're both dead? Right? Now our people are so blinded, right? And I say that sparingly. They're so blinded by fame and fortune, right? And the love of money, right? Which is the root of all evil, right? That when it comes to doing the right thing, they're just not doing it, right? They're just not doing it, right? Now, we have civil unrest in the country, and it is at that point, and I'm pretty sure, Steve, you see it as well, it's at that point where anarchy is going to jump in to Nigeria very soon.
It has already. People are taking, what do they call anarchy? When people take the law into their hands.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to church, they are protecting themselves.
That's right.
Whatever they have.
That's right. You see?
So that is anarchy.
Yeah.
They are going to take over.
That's right. Now, you see, the thing is this. I said a few weeks ago, I said in Africa, Africans are so reliant on Jesus will do it. God will do it. I will keep praying. Someone is dying. You're supposed to take them to the hospital, but you decide to pray instead. Right? Now, if our people, wherever they are in Africa, right, do not put their Bible down, right, and get real, the wrong people will take over their country, right, and they will be back in slavery before they can say Kunta Kinte, right, and that is the truth, right?
My brother, something I just want to say is most of these things, most of these places that because I research into it, why in certain places there's a lot of turmoil and unrest. Do you know there's this guy I followed, and he was saying there's a rare mineral deposit in all these places. And each one, just a gram of it, costs $22 million. 22.
Mm-hmm.
And these people, who did they get sponsored by? If you see the helicopters that are going in there,
Mm-hmm. You see?
Because they need these rare mineral resources.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tí a bá ṣe kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ nísìnyí, ibì kan wà ní inú ibẹ̀ yẹn, they have gold, abundance of gold. And this place is a thick forest. Plane them pass there.
You see?
Private plane is going in there. So really, I don't want to say this in English. Taba sọ̀rọ̀ síbi tọ́rọ̀ wà, àwọn tó ń sponsor wọn lábẹ́rẹ́ náà wà, òyìnbó ni wọ́n.
Yes.
Òyìnbó ni gbogbo wọn pátápátá. So, taba fẹ́ kí ìlú wa really dá. Then this centralized policing kò lè work you.
Yeah.
Kò lè work you.
Nah.
Because nígbà táwa ń dàgbà bọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà ń bà yẹn. Kí ni wọ́n máa ń pè wọ́n náà? Àwọn ọlọ́pàá jẹ́lẹ̀ àbí kí wọ́n máa ń pè wọ́n?
Mm-hmm.
We have at that time now. And Baba Obasanjo said something. Kò sẹ́ni tó lè mú ẹlẹ́ onílẹ̀ bí indigene onílẹ̀.
That's right.
So, I think everybody, we need to go back to where we originate from. Me so I'm very, very careful of
I hear you.
because we are online. And we should all be careful of what we are saying to. So all these things, we should make sure that we go back to, because they've been one sponsor one.
Of course, we know that.
To be real. Okay, I want this the local policing that they formed, this
Yeah, Amotekun.
Mm-hmm. Do you know they put them in prison? Well, not prison. In Gbaga.
Mm.
Just to rescue some of the people to fake kidnap. Do you know that they put them in Gbaga?
Wow.
After 3 months, they released them.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you telling me when something else happen next time, are you telling me that they will go?
No.
So talo ma form.
Oh wow.
Awala form. Ṣùgbọ́n kí lorúkọ ẹ wà. But I want to remind you pé àwọn ọmọ wa náà tán tún wà ní army, wọ́n wà ní America, wọ́n wà ní Canada, wọ́n wà ní Germany, wọ́n wà all over.
Mm-hmm.
Tí ó bá di ìkífùrò sí ìdí ó là o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
A ní àwọn ọmọ púpọ̀ nínú ibẹ̀.
Mm-hmm.
Kò dẹ̀ sẹ́ni tó fẹ́ kí oníkálukú wà kí a máa ṣẹrú nílùú òyìnbó.
Kò sí o.
Okay, because this is a strategy. Nǹkan tí mo kàn fẹ́ ká mọ̀ ní pé strategy ní kíní yìí, and ẹ̀mí ò lọ sí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Tí ẹ bá fẹ́ fọ̀ mọ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Nǹkan tí kí lorúkọ ẹ ṣe, what's this guy? I like him, the Ghanaian Jelly Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ o.
Of course.
Yóò ṣẹlẹ̀. Because àwọn bàbá kan wà. Because mo bèrè lọ́wọ́ bàbá mi, mo ní, kí ló dé pé, Daddy, Nàìjíríà dà. Daddy ni, ó máa dà. Daddy ni, ó máa dà ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tó wà ń bí máa dàrú náà pọ̀.
Mm-hmm.
What are they trying to say? Ipe àwọn kan jẹ́ níbi máa dàrú.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
So ní báwo ni ó ṣe dà?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Gbogbo àwọn yẹn la gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ ṣe kí lórúkọ ẹ̀ fún o. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ kí ibi bẹ̀ dà o.
Mm-hmm.
So ìjọba democracy kò lè ṣe iṣẹ́ tá à ń sọ. Mi ò mọ̀ bóyá I understand nǹkan tó.
Of course.
Ìjọba democracy ò lè ṣe anything tá à ń sọ yìí o. So it's up to you. You ask the question, are we ready? Are they ready? Are they ready?
I don't think so.
Bàbá kan wà ní America.
Mm-hmm.
Ó nìkan ọmọ Nàìjíríà ni. Ó nìkan ní American force no man run lọ.
Mm-hmm.
Special force ló wà.
Mm-hmm.
Bọ̀bọ̀ yìí ó máa ń disappear. Sorry, ìgbàgbọ́, I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Ṣùgbọ́n when it comes to this thing, you need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Ó nìkan no man run lọ. Tí kìíní bá dé kí lórúkọ ẹ̀, ọmọ yẹn á disappear.
Of course.
So, What am I? I'm a Christian. No, I'm a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very sorry to say this, but we need to come back to ourselves.
Then yeah.
So let somebody else speak. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. You see, this is what we're talking about. See, this is the value that we try to inject into this Saturday morning chat. Right now, I am tired of people pretending that everything is fine. You know, you have the naysayers in Nigeria today who constantly lie to themselves that everything is fine in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, right? You know, you have people like myself and Steve, right, who sit here and we're itching for something good to happen. You know, it is actually a big disgrace for people like us and people like His Excellency, the global president of the global clusters, to be in our respective countries where we are resident at present, reading up on the nonsense that people call governance in places like Nigeria. Now, this week we heard that in Guinea-Bissau there was civil unrest, and they, like Burkina Faso, have been taken over by the military.
Of course.
Right? That was always going to happen. Right? Because at the end of the day, if we decide to follow the Western world into being governed by civilians, right, who I believe will also, or are supposed to, use their experiences in economics and government and law enforcement, etc., and so forth, to rule a country and keep people happy. People like ourselves who are civilians now, right? Ruled by civilians, for civilians, and have the armed forces where they're supposed to be, on the borders of the country, looking after the safety of the people. If you can't do that, then the military themselves will come in and rule you the way they rule themselves, with an iron fist. Right? Now, rightly or wrongly, because I mean, for so many years, countries didn't take countries like Nigeria serious because we were ruled by the military, and they didn't think that the military had any place in governing countries. Right? Which, for me, is a bit hypocritical anyway, because when they came into Africa, they came in as military personnel. Right? You had a governor who was military, right? You had the royal family that were 100% military at the time, you know, but still, you know, they have a prime minister over here, and we went on to having presidents. But the problem is this, right? The problem is this. We went on to have a series of military presidents or military heads of state in Nigeria who were themselves committing atrocities, right? And then we've gone back to having civilian presidents who themselves are committing atrocities by way of, you know, indecency and dishonesty. Right? Today, because of the fact that, just like the pandemic of 2020, we now have a virus running through Africa, right? Whereby African leaders are more interested in their bank balances, right, than they are in governing the country. Now, I can tell you this for nothing. I can run after you today because you've got money. I can run after you tomorrow because you've got money. But on the third day, when I'm running after you and I haven't had anything to eat myself, and yet you want me to keep up appearances, we have a problem. Right? And that is exactly what's happening.
Let's jump on something.
Yeah, sure.
Motivator said something the other time. I was on the elevator, and I heard him saying that the civilian cannot do it. That if we really want, if we're ready, you know, I think it's a military team, similar to what is currently happening in Burkina Faso. But I have a contrary opinion. They call the willpower. Number one, if you look at the history of Nigeria, who brought us to where we are today? Who first devalued Naira? It was the military in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So it has to do with the attitude of the person in charge. Ibrahim Traore is not just a military person; he's a compassionate military man that is ready to serve.
That's right.
You understand? So talking about whether military or non-military, it has to do with identifying the what I call the attitude, the character of the person in question that actually want to lead, that actually want to do this thing. The civilian can do it because let me tell you something. In a place like Qatar, the only natural resources Qatar has is just oil. And guess what? If you go to Qatar and you buy a fuel of 50 riyal, it will fill your tank. They make sure that the citizens are getting it as cheap as anything. If you are there, you are getting it as cheap as anything. They were able to organize themselves with just oil. The oil we have in Nigeria is enough to feed everybody.
Boss, sorry, sir. I just want to interject.
All right, sir.
I said, I didn't say military. Have you seen the way this democracy is being worked? How can you you want to talk about corruption? You have to pay them 500,000. They demand for 500. Is it 500,000 or 500 million?
Let's laugh small now.
They demanded for that. What is that?
Do you know what we took the global program today? Somebody was telling me that for me to see the president, I should go and bring about 40-something million.
Yeah, I heard, yes.
So all these things, I'm not saying the military. I'm just saying there are some things because you need to talk. All this fame. There's this Yoruba guy that was saying that he's a minister, and he's saying we should face it, but everybody needs to sign. But remember, they are giving them in dollars. They are giving them money in dollars. Okay, with the money that they are giving them, do you think they would do it? So anybody,
okay.
What I'm saying is that I don't want to say this in English. It can be, everything will be okay. But I want to lose you. I want to lose you. But the way they run for now is not good. So that's what I'm just saying. Sorry, sir. Continue, sir.
Now, Cherry is a tweak. It's a tweak. If a life today decide to change, that life will change. It's more like the things we do in our personal lives. If your life is like Jaga like Nigeria, if it's not settled, if you make up your mind that I want my life to be settled now, it will be settled.
You are talking from diaspora viewpoint. Sorry, I lived there for 5 years. I had a business there. I had some business and farm there. Yeah, you are talking from the perspective of a diaspora, somebody living here. Now I'm talking. Some people are there. And they say, okay, there's this lecturer that said, you know, the red ant and the black ant, they don't see each other. And they put a level of black ant in a bottle, in a jar, and they put sand on top of them. On another level, they put a level of the red ant. And somebody somewhere shake the bottle. That is what we are going through in Nigeria. And they begin to fight. And the person at the end that is shaking the bottle, I want to sponsor one more challenge. I want to don't sponsor. Okay, how kini she debibe? Ni gbogbo kini tele nba ti won bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí ton akwa ni kini now. Kò sí gbogbo kí lè rí kọ ẹ̀ yìí. Kò sí gbogbo eléyìí tó ń ṣe yìí náà. So all I'm saying, àwọn tó ń ṣèkì bottle, tó dẹ̀ fi red ants and white and black ants and all the ants there to eat themselves, àwọn ni mò ń sọ yìí. So I will just rest my case. Mi ò mọ̀ bóyá
sir, let me now put it to you, sir. Let me now put it to you. Àárín lẹ ti mú mú láti sàlẹ̀. You understand? Àárín lẹ ti mú analogy yẹn. Let me now tell you. Before independence, before we got our independence, independent dàbí pé wọ́n fẹ́ bí ọmọ. Àwọn tó gbẹ̀bí wa, ibẹ̀ ni gbogbo ẹ̀ ti wọ́ wá. Àwọn tó gbẹ̀bí Nàìjíríà, ibẹ̀ ló ti wọ́ wá. Because àwọn colonial master gan, ó ní nǹkan tán fi sílẹ̀. Tó yẹ pé nǹkan tán fi sílẹ̀ yẹn gan, ni àwọn tí wá grow, a máa ti grow jù bá ṣe wà ẹ lọ. Aṣáà dé South Africa ní bó ṣe rí náà. South Africa is pretty much like táyì ń wò lọ́ọ̀kan jẹ́ pé àṣìmọ̀kan tó wà lè jẹ́ pé Google Buhari kan ló wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ó bẹ́tà ju 2025 tàwa yìí lọ. So the deterioration nǹkan torí ọwọ́ it's someone illustrated it ó fi ṣe joke ni, but it's not something I encourage because it's something tó ń pa àwọn èèyàn lẹ́kún tó ń gbomijé lójú àwọn èèyàn lè máa mimic ẹ̀. You know, when something come, kí nǹkan tó bá tí nǹkan bá fi ń bọ̀ látòkè báyìí kó tó dé sálẹ̀ almost 80-90% kúrò mẹ́. So people are greedy. Greediness. Àwọn tó gbẹ̀bí Nàìjíríà ló yẹ kó fún ìlú níbi. Kání wọ́n fi nǹkan lọ́lẹ̀ pé okay, káwọn bá mú ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan lásán kó tó wọn ṣọlá náà. Ẹyọ kan kọ́lẹ̀ fún gbogbo ìlú ní mẹ́sàn-án ó tó wọn ṣọlá. But I don't know what some people want. People like Awolowo, they are still having this one. Kí ló fẹ́ fi ṣe? Is it still alive? A lot of people, they are having something. Even the OBJ, don't sort of allow you to buy a OBJ. Virtually all of them, when they become president, they have property in all the 37 cities. They have this one, they have that one. If only Nigerians are intentional in fixing Nigeria, there is no issue. We don't have any problem. The problem is our mind. It's the mind. It's the mind. It's not because of military. It's not because of civilian. It's the mind problem. Greediness, this thing. If somebody watch your joke is saying, why do we create the global cluster? Do you know what the global cluster means? We created a platform that every platform in that platform is as big as the main platform. The global security cluster is as big as the global cluster itself. That is the ideology of what to create. The idea is that me, any motivator, Sepran, Olorunbe, Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, we all come together in such a way that the vision telling me, Bubowa, I rally run at the lady.
sir.
The vision tell you, gbogbo wa rally round, aba yín push it. Vision tell me, gbogbo wa rally round, aba mi push it. Vision ti Cyprian ní gbogbo wa rally round, aba push it. That is the ideology, the concept we are telling Nigeria that now let us work. We should do. We should not just talk and leave it at the realm of talking. And that is why you see that we are always coming here every Saturday. And thank God for this man that is leading this, that is hosting this live. He has been taking steps in trying to train the police in Nigeria. He has started creating curriculums. He has started doing something because everything is the quality of the mind that determines the quality of the life we are living. If our mind is developed, we will not. A lot of people don't know anything, and they don't know that they don't know. That is the problem. So, ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ sọ, òótọ́ lẹ sọ, but problem as you identify. Oh yeah, how do we solve it? We create something to solve the problem. If we are doing that between 10 to 20 years, our mama won't bad problem. But everybody just want to, I thought myself one day, I said, okay, it's not that I have plenty money. It's not that I'm very rich. But an average person that is living in the diaspora is comfortable. An average person living in diaspora is comfortable. I hosted some people from America and Turkey here, and we saw a wheelbarrow pusher in one of our markets here in Turkey, in Istanbul. And the wheelbarrow pusher said, we want to help someone that came from Kenya to buy stuff in Turkey, to carry his bag from one location. It's not too far. I know the place. I know the hotel is taking the person to. Wheelbarrow. He's saying that he wants to collect about $5. Yes. I think that about $6. And we're negotiating $7. We're negotiating to $5. I just want to mention dollars so that people will know. Now, imagine $5. And if he does that every day, times 5, times 10 is 50, times 20 is 100. That is a wheelbarrow pusher. That's a wheelbarrow pusher. You don't need any qualifications to do a wheelbarrow pusher. All of them are in the factory there. So we can actually, do you know, sometimes we'll come to some house care, they will build big buildings. They will make everything our new building here. You will have gym, you will have sauna, you will have parking space, you will have virtually everything you need. Swimming will be there. We will have everything in there, and they will sell it well. Sometimes I machine on that we got building go work, go solid, go shaking, can know see, and know see. At my go, and let to pop. I'm about if he let him on bed, to have a plot. The house was built on less than 250 square meters in Turkey. In that, on that building, one no elevator are nearby. What to need golly nisale? Golly don't need a your room self-contained. If you okay, one your two shops, nisale. While wole, to buy wole, while also no elevator, or that staircase like that. To buy one elevator. Oh, floor one, ni moti wole yen. Isale ni floor 0. If you see our room self-contained one. Then if you are to wole yen, 2 kimilo and bed. Two shops. Now, what I stay. There are 2 duplexes there, 3-bedroom duplexes. Meji. One your 2-bedroom flat. Mefa. One your bed. One your room self-contained. Meji. One to your shop. Meji. Ninu ile tio to 300 square meter. Solid. Now, that is where you will see someone don't need rule again. To have a pump, but to my 2 room, value to buy lórí ló máa fún ilẹ̀ ní value ló máa fún property in building ló máa fún ní. So we need a re-engineering of our brain and know that if we submit ourselves to quality learning, quality, information, and connect with ourselves. All of us here, we are smarter than one of 4. It's a no-brainer. I can tell you that. Do you know? I want to say this again. A lot of time we talk about government. Do you know that? You got a I'm a shape pre-launch lale, and we'll be doing pre-launch in so many platforms. I can tell you that Tobaya government ma Tobaya Elon Musk money adopt. I was showing the CEO of a tech company here in Turkey yesterday about our this thing. Only platform also signing straight. Only on my like that because that is it. I said this is the first social media platform that promotes morals. We don't accept anything nude. We don't accept any form of this thing. You can chat, make calls, do everything, but don't put anything there. So, character that when you're lacking, we have to start letting them know that only the character, or you need to go to school of character. Care that when you care for your 1 year, we need to let them know that you need to go to a school of care and know how to care for your people. None of them, they don't act it. One. And when we are unique in it, they were born to care, they were born to have compassion, they were born to have what they have. People like us are our privilege. We just have the grit inside of us. Because Timba Yamo boss stop blaming Otobe. Mutiwa. Tan Baba Mimo. But somehow, there is something inside of us that said, no, I'm not going to be like this. I'm going to be like this. And that was what happened. And we have a lot of people that have emerged like that. People like Dr. Shegun Osudairo emerged like that too. And that is why we are championing this movement to say, no matter what you are, your next level is not drugs. Your next level is not submitting yourself to bandits. Your next level is not submitting yourself to armed robbery. Your next level is not submitting yourself to Yahoo. Your next level is to come here and let us tell you that you need to acquire something. Only Latin Moncon, learning Moncon. And that is why we have created a platform whereby most of the top guys there are ready to mentor people for free. So that if they are mentored and in your wagon, as a matter of fact, I discovered that the more you grow, the less you eat. I cannot even eat even 2 square meals. It's difficult for me. So what we're saying is that it is possible to have a beautiful Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is possible to have a United States of Africa. Only if you that you're watching me right now, you are intentional about it. Your positivity is needed. My positivity is needed. Everyone's positivity is needed. When we see one of us that is doing good thing, we are not here to compete with one another. We are here to complement one another.
Yes.
We are here to complement one another. We are not created to compete. Anytime we don't follow the law of nature, the law of humanity, we get it wrong. And we are not moving anywhere until we apply it. Why is it that they say it's not good for a man to be alone? Why? Because it is not good. It can never be good. And sometimes some people want to take all the money alone, take this one alone, take that money alone. So, I just want to say to everyone listening that we need to take the bull by the horn. You need to champion a movement in your community. Where is your hood? Imoluti Shewa. Thank you, Prosterian Adeleke. No, Imoluti Shewa. Ejeki Bubuwa Kabereshe. Ateni, ati motivator àtàwọn tó máa wo kíní torí ó máa wà bẹ́ẹ̀ as record purpose. We have started the first intellectual movement to drive nation building. We have started, and we need everyone to start advocating for it. Inclusivity. Let us start supporting ourselves. It does not cost us anything. If you know connection that can help my brother, Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, let me tí ẹ̀gbọ́n bá máa sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n máa ní ambassador ẹ̀ṣìkọ́bá tó bá wó lọ tó bá pàdé yìí lọ́nà wà á padà sílé náà tí mo tó bá lówó ọ̀hún tó ń kọ́ kí ló fẹ́ fi rà yíyí ní náà. So if you do something ara ẹ̀ ló ṣe fún
oríire wọn bó ṣe wà yẹn wọ́n sọ fún mi kan fún lọ́jọ́ kan fẹ́ lè máa sunkún wọ́n ní ambassador this global security tó bá dé level kan tán màá make sure pé gbogbo nǹkan tó wà máa yọ bẹ̀ máa ṣe nǹkan fún ẹ. That is what this Egbon said. But in life, I was not doing it because I wanted anything from him. But I was just doing it because that is the right thing to do. I just asked him, are you ready to lead the global security process? He said yes. And I was saying, Egbon, you're my leader, really. And we started. This is a movement. This is a voice. And that's where everybody should be. Security is everybody's business. If every youth come together in every community to solve their security problem, it will be solved permanently. Permanently. It's a no-brainer. When you see something, you say something. Because just like we solve little problem, if I'm in my apartment, if something is disturbing me, I will know if by low crash, just like that, it's like that. So the whole nation is like a bigger house. If you have been given opportunity to be the one that is governing the bigger house, you must identify the problem and you must tackle it immediately. And if you are not tackling it, it's not that you don't know what to do to tackle it. It's because you are not ready to tackle it. If you are ready, it's not about military, it's not about this thing, it's about your person, it's about your character, it's about the empathy you show, it's about the compassion you have. It's about the kindness that is inside of you. And if you don't have it, go and learn. That is why we created the global clusters. Learn how to be compassionate, how to have empathy, how to have kindness, how to show care. If we really want a beautiful Federal Republic of Nigeria, everybody must arise to the cause. Everyone. It's not one Oga come because do you think Tinubu can do anything? No. It's only to Tinubu the constitute for Nigeria. Or is he Sanwo-Olu that is the owner of Lagos? Everyone that owns anything, everyone that comes from any tribe in Nigeria, we are all stakeholders. We must all have a positivity that will pour into the dirty cup that we have today. If we really want to build our father's land, everybody must rise to the occasion. Every human being in Nigeria must rise to the occasion. It is not the job of one person. It is not the job of two persons. It is the job of all of us. So ask yourself a sincere question. What am I doing to contribute positively to my father's land? Without Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, motivator of one shitty President Cypher and shitty one. Shoshin shitty one. Ọlọ́run bẹ́ẹ̀ náà shitty. Tàbá ti ṣe program báyìí, Ọlọ́run bẹ́ẹ̀ máa kọ́ mi, ó máa sọ̀rọ̀, ó máa add voice there, ó máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. What are you doing? What are you doing? Kí ló ń ṣe? Gbogbo àwọn tó wà bí báyìí, gbogbo wọn náà ti add voice wọn láti jọ ọjọ́ pé nǹkan báyìí ó máa dá, nǹkan báyìí ó máa dá, nǹkan báyìí ó máa dá. And I can tell you, what we are saying all of the time is going to take its root. We currently, the community is the one trying to solve power issue in Nigeria right now. It's the global clusters. When people to see the president, I'm bringing investors from America. You're telling me to see the president. We got through. It's a no-brainer. It's all about starting. We started as a WhatsApp group, metamorphose, with a good intention to serve our father's land. At Jade and the TV Tashiri. Tashiri ye, Luwale Dajubelo, and the Tiberenia. And we are stopping at nothing. I will not leave nonsense to my children and my great grandchildren. I will not allow them to lost in an unknown land. I'm black, and my black is beauty. I'm an African man. I'm in Nigeria, and I will not leave nonsense to my children. And that is why I said I must know when to stop. Keep money.
wọ́n fẹ́ níyàwó mo ní, wọ́n fẹ́ ní ọmọ láyé mo ní, wọ́n fẹ́ travel mo travel, wọ́n fẹ́ ní mọ́tò mo ní mọ́tò, wọ́n fẹ́ nílé mo nílé. Èèyàn fẹ́ lówó lọ́wọ́ tó máa fi jọ mo ní. Kí ló tún kù? Kí ló tún kù? Let us dash ourselves. Kí ló kù? When you have such things, start impacting life. Let every good person, let every top person start adopting. Make up your mind that you are going to produce your kind between 1 to 10 million and see whether Nigeria will not be good. Start replicating yourself in people. Start duplicating yourself. Adopt the people-to-people revolution up to global clusters and see whether we are not going to create a United States of Africa. It's a no-brainer. It's a real deal. It's what we all need. We cannot keep quiet and start saying, Tinubu must do it, Tinubu must do it. No, start doing something in your neighborhood. Start impacting them positively. Let me, because I will show you something right now. Come on. I will show you something right now. Look at what is here. Look at. This is inspirational. Look at factories. What will you be here? Look at solars here. There's 24 hours light. They are harnessing wind. They are harnessing wind. They are harnessing hydro. They are harnessing solar. They are harnessing waste. Everything. Look at factories. You've got this share. Look at 20 years ago, where was talking? 20 years ago, go and Google it. People are intentional. People are intentional. Nigerians, Africans, it's a no-brainer. You have the right plan. You have the right people. You have the right brains. We have all it takes to become the best in the world. Look at it. Otutu Mumbai. It's windy. Kilo shewa gogono. Kilo shewa. Kila feli aye. Ewo top building ye. And lobi, il est fi come here. Only about 600 square meter long. Flat to one bed. Only jebi 300 flats. One flat is going for like $200,000. Go and multiply it. If you join the bandwagon here, it's not about, if it's money, you're going to see money is nothing. Money is created from what you and I put value on. It's not about money. It's about laying a good foundation, creating an enabling environment for everybody. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, as always, I don't know. I'm blown away. I am absolutely blown away. You see, people, I've just been posting on the Global Clusters WhatsApp group chat. Now, my question is this, and I posted it on StreamYard. My question is simply this. Are we ready? Are we ready? Right? Because we, as His Excellency just said, we have a long way to go. We've got a lot of work to do. But are we ready? Right? I can come here every Saturday and scream and shout and talk and do whatever. His Excellency can do the same. Motivator can do the same. Clusterian Cyprian can do the same. Sheen Show can do the same. Olarum Bear can do the same. And everybody else that comes on here can do the same. But the question is this. As a people, are we ready? I'm going to call in Clusterian Cyprian right now, because I always love to hear his take on a lot of things concerning this, and to get his take and his feed on recent happenings in and around Africa. Clusterian Cyprian, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Good morning, Colonel Gbenga.
Good morning, sir.
I want to appreciate everyone Yeah. Okay, I just have little things to add because I am on a baby duty. So I'm just taking the TV down so that you will not interfere with what I'm speaking. Calm down. Calm down. So regarding this, what's happening in Nigeria and around Africa. Okay, as regards to or in relation to security, it's just I would say that Chinua Achebe said that the center cannot hold and things fall apart. Normally, it wasn't. Things are bad, though. It's been bad even when I was small. Was when I wish I was small that time, but I was younger. That was when this guy Idris sang Nigeria Jaga Jaga and Hard Life Every Day Live for Nigeria. And so many songs that came during that time, they were all pointing at governance, pointing at negligence, pointing at the fact that the masses who are supposed to buy, by the virtue of the fact that we are blessed as a country with numerous natural resources that you don't even find in all those countries that we all admire, that we are supposed to live a better life, But all those moments, things were not as bad as it is now. Just like Napoleon Hill said that when a man is pushed to the wall, that he will bring out the stuff he's made of. I guess that's actually the point we are now. What is happening in Guinea, whether the president initiated it himself or faked it, the coup that we heard of, whether initiated it or it's really happened, is a message that people have been pushed to the wall. The one of Nigeria, I heard of the past one that wanted to happen and what followed, because I heard some of the other people involved and those that were, tipped to be involved were all withdrawn or dismissed or thereabouts from the military. So, all those things that are happening now, they are pointing at one thing. We have been pushed to the wall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But sadly, only little has been done so far. Because when Napoleon he said it as a way of explaining what happens, and also as a way of motivating people. Explaining what happened in the sense that when you're pushed to the wall, you show the stuff you're made of. Yes, that's what he has observed over time. Then on the other part, if you are pushed to the wall, he's expecting you to do something. That's the other side of it. He's explaining what happened or as a result of what he has seen in his life. That in this life, when a man is pushed to the wall, he shows the stuff he's made of. That's what he has observed. Then on the other part, if you are pushed to the wall, he's expecting you to do something if you are not doing. He's expecting you to show that stuff you are made of. So that is what I believe the message of today is. We are pushed to the wall in their different areas. So we expected to react or respond. Yes, react and respond. We must have to do something. It's sad that we are not doing enough. We are doing something, like we are not quiet. We are doing something. There are signs there showing that, man, we are all tired. But the sad thing about it is that we're not doing enough. All right, we're not doing enough. Okay, coming to the global clusters, because I don't have to go far. I may not have much influence going far. Let me talk about global clusters, what we already have here. I'm so happy coming to global clusters because of the fact that when I look around, I see like minds, I see prominent people, I see people that have held good positions, people that have attained a good height in life, people that are desirous of bringing real impact. That's what I see when I look at global clusters. There was a time, I think you should be doing my program on Wednesday, that I said that global clusters has this threat to succeed. I said that if Facebook started with ordinary people, with no single training, and people were able to, carve a niche for themselves, start up something, build to the extent that today, Mark is even treating everyone as if he doesn't need them. Can wake up and ban you, can wake up and bring some restrictions to your account, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. And you're going to still want to be there. You appeal and appeal, get verification badge, do all this, just to belong. Same platform that didn't even start as one big thing. Started as just ordinary thing, and people keyed in, and people even had to train themselves to show up well on the platform. As compared to global cluster that started with giants. As I said, nothing can make global clusters to fail. It started as a giant. Those ones that started, even TikTok did not start as a giant. I'm sorry to say it. Started with random stuff. When I was sharing my experience during the mind surgery, I explained how I came to TikTok and saw so many awful things. I was forced to leave it before I now decided to come back with a new strategy. What was the new strategy? Regardless of the fact that they are not really appreciating education here, regardless of the fact that they're all showing naked body and all these things, I'm going to do something different. And when I started gaining people that joined my life. They were like, wow, we have been looking for this all this while. So I gained another level of conviction that, wow. So this thing I'm doing that I thought nobody would care about. Because I wasn't seeing anybody doing it. People were doing all this stuff that they liked. They show up naked, dance naked, all those things. So I didn't know my own initiative would make sense. But at the end of the day, I was convinced and encouraged that, so there are people here waiting for something like this to come up. And it was along the line that I met Sigwege. From Sigwege, I met Ambassador. And I can't count the number of people I met. There was one man called Godfather, real Godfather here. If you have stayed long, you might know him. I met him during my training. He attended my training. He wasn't gaining from my training because he was made for himself. He wasn't getting from my training, but he was happy coming and attending it almost every single day. He will come gift people and encourage them to attend to such training as I was having them. Why? He found the value that was not common there. So today, I think we are not doing enough. Just like Ambassador said, and I've also said it in one of our meetings. Sorry, Chinago, sorry. I have said it in one of our meetings. We need to start with supporting ourselves. If there is anyone among us, I am ready. Anyone among us doing anything, let us make that a point of duty to go and identify with the person. This time, you get someone talking on phone, you think it's meant for you to talk to about. He's not even upset. He just that he sees I'm talking on phone. He wants to put his voice. So anytime each and every one of us are having something, let's identify with the person. Let other people that are not yet convinced of what we are building see what we can do for one of us. I talked about it before, and I'm still repeating it because I use one church as an example. If I mention the church now, I don't even want to mention it. But those that have lived in Nigeria will understand what I'm talking about. This church, they didn't start as a big church; it started as a small church. But do you know what happened along the line? Big fishes started coming into the church. I don't know how that happened, but do you know what the pastor was telling them? That in your establishment, that place you have your power, that place you have authority. Don't ever allow someone from this church to come and not get a job, to come and not get that which they want, to come and not have a smooth ride. And they did it to the extent that people even started identifying with the church, basically to gain those things. That was how they became massive. I don't know for today, but they have really, really, really made name. If I thought everybody knows the church, everybody knows the church. But I don't want to talk about the name of the church. Those that have lived in this country will know. In as much as we may not agree with everything they are doing, but this attribute of them is the attribute every single endeavor that wants to conquer the world, especially when the real authorities or stakeholders of that particular entity don't care about them. Any entity that wants to go very, very hard, in fact, influence those people that needed to adopt us, this is where we have to start. Let other people share within their own community, within their own circle, within their own, area of influence or community that, wow, I was marveled seeing what Global Clusters did for one of their own. Let people be the one. You will be so surprised that people would long to, you will not even be the one telling them as you are doing. They will be asking of how can we be part of these Global Clusters? Or by themselves. By themselves. You understand? So I think that's where we're going to start, because we as we are now, we all big people. We have great ideas. We have great ideas. But we need to be in certain platforms to be able to force the attention of the federal government to us. Force the attention of the Africa as a country. It wasn't the federal government. Last time I was saying that, if Nigeria does not listen to the global president, if other countries decide to listen to global president and they are ready to provide all the resources needed to push global cluster to every extent, would he say, oh, because I'm Nigeria, I will not have to listen to that? He will push the headquarters there. He will attack whoever, do everything you want to do there. And Nigeria will only have to watch. So it's our own responsibility as a people. We're all doing, we already started. It's not easy to come out every day, dedicate your time, because before global clusters, we have something we are doing. Before global clusters, all the 5 p.m., we are doing something there. And perhaps it's not giving us money, it's giving us something. But when global cluster came into the picture, because we saw the idea, because we love the founder, because we know that the idea is actually something that is practicable, something that can actually bring change we all want, we keyed in. It means we are doing something, but we are not doing enough. We should, on our own, be able to, support each other individually, and then see the ripple effect that the whole thing will bring. Yes, because each and every one of us, we have our influence. I have on my own. I have. Let me say, it should be for something K. I don't even know, because we used to reduce every day. For something K followers, I have on Facebook, and believe you me, regardless of the fact that not all of them have not joined global clusters, 80% of them have heard of Ambassador Dr. Adekunle Badmus by force and by fire. Yes. I did. There's a time he did a program on my page on bilateral agreement. After that, he came for my annual accessible conference last year. He came and the one of this year already tipped him on it, and even wanted to see if the person in charge of ARE will come and speak to those that are gonna come. Even if nobody comes, you speak there and you will have it there. You keep on replaying in that group. And so I believe it's us. We are the one to spread it. Since they did not listen to Ambassador, because he talked about how he has met some people and all that, they will listen to him. By the time they will see global clusters everywhere, they will be forced to come into the table. So this is our work. Nigeria has been. I will even put it. It's sad that we have seen the country the way it is. It's not the way all of us want. Can you imagine a whole global president for you to be able to speak with the president of the country? You pay for something million or 40 million. When you are bringing an idea that will help you even solve the problem that is difficult for you to solve. Because let's be sincere. They are demonstrating high level of incompetence. No matter how you had your mouth to talk about it. Yes. high level of incompetence. I've shared my experience when I went to get my wife a driver's license. I've shared my experience. I paid for 5 years for Nigeria driver's license. She did all the exams and all this. And for her to do capturing, they didn't capture her. After some months, she was pregnant that time. Even at the point they were telling us she could just go and deliver, then she'll come back. You can imagine that. She had to use written note to drive. All the period. Now, after delivery, we went back again. They said that the system crashed. After that, we came back and they said we have to do repushing. We have to give them some money that they bought a new system. That new system they bought, they will have to, try to see if they can retrieve some of the information from the crash system to put in the new system and all that. I paid. That was additional money to the money I paid for the 5 years. After that, again, nothing happened till today. Last time I went there, which was the time I had to speak with I don't know if what they call him, the one in charge of the state there. I don't know. He didn't even allow me to come in, but I didn't agree with them. I said I was going to speak with. He said he did not come to do what others came for. I said, no, I didn't come to do what others came for. I didn't. I am here to tell you how bad I'm feeling right now. That you guys said I should do reissue. Reissue means I'm going to pay again. Then start from a fresh. He said that the reason is that he bought a new system. He used the money that his own money to buy a system that can be able to carry as much as whatever. I told him, sir, it's sad that you people are still operating on using local leaks at this age, at this time. He said, what do I mean? I said, people are using cloud to store people's data. They don't have to be removing people's data when they are done. It can be there. It's massive enough to accommodate as much as you can. How many are we in this state? So it was like, oh, what's the crowd about? I said, fine. If people cannot do it, please hire me. Have someone. Give us the contract. Let's run it for road safety. And he said, for me to do it, that he doesn't have the power, I should go to Abuja and apply. I said, yes, I expected to say this thing. This is the incompetence we face in this country. You hire a bunch of amateurs, people that don't know nothing, just because they supported you during the election. You hire them and they crumple your system, they crumple your governance and make you look so poor. People that competence are there, begin to be admitted, begin to be adopted, begin to be brought into the system. But sadly, they will never get to that place. We'll keep on repeating the same cycle of incompetence. At the end of the day, he gave me another written note that I don't know if it's definite because my
another written note.
But the sad reality is that I wanted her to have a permanent driver, at least 5 years driver's license, like me. Because my own, until next 2-3 years, I may not have any business to do with them. So what am I saying? If we leave them, they're going to continue the same cycle of incompetence. Nothing's going to happen. Yes. And I'm not even being certain that if anybody becomes this thing, any difference will happen. I'm not even certain about that. But we ourselves, being sincere ourselves, that we are convinced within ourselves that we know the right thing to do, and we are doing it in our own little confine. We should do more. We are not doing enough. That's what I want to say. And coming to the security part, security before security issues got to this point, so many things have failed. I would say that it's even the resultant of failed system that brought about the security issues we're having. Poverty. Okay, our transformer here now. Someone was a Fulani person, sadly, here in Enugu. A Fulani person was caught vandalizing the uprising wire, the armored cable. He was vandalizing it. We didn't have light. We went there. We didn't even notice that they have used saw to cut the protector we put on that transformer. So we are the one. Even it is when contacted, they say that they don't have any money to do this thing. Now the same person we caught and handed over to the police. Police is demanding money for them to be able to go and get other people that other accomplices that ran away when they were caught, to be able to retrieve whatever they have stolen. That's if they have not stolen it. So the system may continue the way continue getting back. So many things have failed before security came into the picture. There's hunger in the land. And just like I started with Napoleon Hill said that when a man is put to the world, he brings out the stuff he's made of. Stuff you are made of must not be positive, just like me and you, Colonel Gbenga and the global president. Someone's stuff someone is made of might be bad, might be evil, might be negative. That's what they're bringing out. Because they're pushed to the wall. Yes, unfortunately. And that's what they're bringing out. So you might even get worse. You see, when you go online now, what you see that people that kidnap on daily basis, even small butchers now in front of your house, can be the den. And you'll be so scared to even enter that place. So what am I saying? A lot of things are wrong already. It's not just the security. Security is just a resultant. So if we start fixing them by the grace of God, you see that security will have no other option to be right. You don't have if you feed very well, there's no amount of if you feed very well, my dear, it's not every amount of money that can convince you to do nonsense. If you feed very well, if you are touching a certain amount of money, I am sure people will not tell you to go and die because of that same amount of money. Before people will come out to say, I want to die for this money, maybe they don't believe they will make it on their own in their life, doing legitimate stuff. So this is just my little input. Thank you, everyone.
You know, we have, as I keep saying, we have some really, really phenomenal people that speak on this platform on a Saturday. And this gentleman here is one of them, because his insight into a lot of things that go on is absolutely phenomenal. And just like him, it breaks my heart. I mean, I was just listening to some of the things he was saying almost in closing there, that you call the police to come and do their job, and yet they're telling you to pay them in order to do the job. Now, to me, that speaks volumes. I said earlier on, in a country where the government is democratically elected, the citizens have every right to speak their mind. But unfortunately, in a country like the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where nothing is done the way it's supposed to be done, therefore and thereby, the people of that land are basically cows and sheep. They get pushed here, pushed there, and told what to do and how to do it. Now, it brings to mind a lot of instances and incidents that I've seen and heard of over the years. I.e., I said to someone, as a police officer, when you are in the process of exacting either an arrest or a detainment, why are you using the vehicle belonging to the person that you have just apprehended? That's number one. Number two, I was watching a video this morning on social media of a police officer having an altercation, physical altercation, with, I think he was either a bus conductor or a bus driver or something like that. But it happened on a bus, and the police officer was manhandling this person in the most inappropriate way ever. Now, I've been doing law enforcement for a good number of years now, and I'm pretty sure that Motivator there will back me up on this. There is a manner to which you apprehend and arrest individuals. Even if you are on your own, number one, you do not go into such a thing on your own. You always call for backup. Now, I find that in this day and age of social media, there's just too much of people recording and not enough of people using their common sense to do that which is right. Now, for me, that puts yours and my security at risk on every level, because number one, you've gone into arrest an individual, not knowing what this individual is capable of, and two, you put yourself at risk and everyone around you at even more risk by trying to be a hero. Now, these things are unnecessary, right? These things are very, very unnecessary. And unfortunately, people, I don't know, maybe in Nigeria, you guys see things differently to the way we see them over here. Now, I keep hammering this security message or this message of security across the people on a daily basis. That it's not only about being a policeman, it's not only about being a soldier, it's not only about being a member of the NSCDC, it's not only about being an immigration officer or a customs officer or anybody that wears a uniform for that matter. It's about you yourself personally knowing what security means or should mean to you as an individual, right? First and foremost, our police, you know, our law enforcers themselves need to know the meaning of security. They need to know the meaning of law enforcement. They need to know how it's supposed to be exacted operationally. But we are constantly not seeing this. And this all stems from the fact that the country itself has bad governance. Who's there? Elefo Apparel, I see he's just joined us. But I don't think his receptions are there. He is. Yeah, I'm going to invite him in to speak to me on his observations this week, security wise. How are you, sir? How are you? Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm fine, Uncle Michael.
I'm very. Oh, we lost him again. How are you? You good? Unmute yourself. You've muted yourself. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, please. Where I am presently is kind of noisy.
Mm-hmm.
Once I'm in a better place, I'll go.
All right. All right. No problem at all. No problem. So yeah, you know, I don't know. Every week, I mean, we have on this show, we have good days and bad days. We have good weeks and bad weeks. This week, I don't know, in the light of everything that's been going on and everything that is going on, I just feel that we're taking one step forward and probably 2 or 3 steps backward. But it does need to improve. It does need to change. And we need to be more security conscious. I'm going to pull the curtain down now. Unfortunately, His Excellency is away to give us the closing remarks. But I want to thank everyone who's been on today for your contributions. It can only get better. It can only get better. We've got to be positive. We've got to think positive. And we've got to keep doing our bit for humanity. As is always said, we are the global clusters. You know, we are a platform of upcoming technocrats and wannabe technocrats, entrepreneurs and wannabe entrepreneurs. You know, we're all up and coming masters of industries and people that want to see a better world and a better place. Don't forget this evening on the Global Clusters, we have another mind surgery at 5 o'clock. Please join if and when you can and take from it what you can and build yourself as well as the people around you. Once again, my name is Michael Gbenga Oshin, the 001 for Global Security Clusters, the CEO of Clear Cross Group, and also the Director for Security and Protocol within the National Youth Alliance in Nigeria. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you again, same time, same place next Saturday. Be good and stay safe. Look after yourselves and each other. Bye for now.